here's where I went wrong and I wish I didn't do this. When you know that you've actually saved someone's life, how long have you got? It's kind of like the whole series. We have to start a whole soap. There is no right time to start business. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have challenges. I am an organized chaos.
Welcome to Daily Dose with Dr. Tanya. We're going to talk everything about health, wellness, beauty, and things between. As a doctor, as a mother, and an entrepreneur who is a founder of a skin brand, I have a lot to share and talk to you. Each week, we will look into certain topics and we will discuss in-depth, honest discussions with the leading experts and gain practical steps and tips so that you can live well, age well, and be happy and glow from within. So from skincare to self-care, from hormones to hustle, this is your space where we will have real conversation, real results for real people. So let's get started.
Who am I? It's a question that I think, like me, a lot of you would be thinking. And the whole journey, our life is about searching your soul and identifying who you really are as a person. Because when you grow up, I grew up in India, in Kerala, where the culture was very different, and it's all about blending in with the nature, using Ayurveda as a way of life. And then my experience and my exposure as a very young girl into the field of art and music and movie industry, acting in movies, all of those things has really helped me to form who I am today, because I carried that experience and the exposure of being able to connect and to be able to interact and mingle with people of all walks of life and all cultures, and understanding the value of connecting with nature and Ayurvedic philosophy and stuff. And then throughout my ambition, and I had no plan B but to be a doctor, because in my core, I am a people person. I love people. I love to hear the story. I'm quite empathetic, and I believe I'm a problem solver. So when I hear about the issues or what people are going through, their suffering, it does make me want to help them. And that perhaps has led me into following my grandfather's path as being a doctor. So medicine is something that I really connected. But what I did understand is that I was still able to, look at things outside the box, looking at the problems and where our limitations are in medicine, and then how we can actually solve the problem, how we can perhaps be more integrated with nature and integrated with our culture to solve a lot of issues that we go through. So quite blessed in that experience and exposure that I could combine with medicine. And now, as I've aged, as I've traveled, as I've worked in multiple continents and now in Australia, I feel I've gained enough maturity to understand that you really don't need to figure out everything in the first part of your life. We are evolving. You, I, everyone, all of us are evolving. And this change and changes that happens, especially for women, it is all to do with your exposure, what you've been, how you have been raised. And then later in my life, like in a woman's life, when you have children, that's when everything changes, because your priorities suddenly change. They become your priority. And everything else, who I am, that is to start off being a doctor, no, actually, even before that, to start off being an artist, then a doctor, then a business owner, an entrepreneur, a wife, and a mother. So all these roles, I believe that I have managed to enjoy and have managed to balance it all. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. And that's what I understood as well. You really don't need to be perfect in all the roles you take. You can be imperfect, and that's fine, because there is no definition on being a perfect mother or a perfect doctor or a perfect businesswoman or anything. So it's as long as you enjoy what you do and nothing becomes a burden, and then you embrace this, your new life, with your new identity as this multifaceted human being that you are naturally as a woman who has got ambition, who has got dream, who has got vision. And that's the game changer. That's when you realize that you're powerful, you've got the strength to handle all of that. And being a mother itself, you are a natural leader, because you're mentoring the little ones, you're leading them, you are problem solving for them, you are identifying their strength and weakness, and then you're working together as a team. You're making decisions, you're making them capable of making decisions, and that's leadership. So all of this, I think, has got a huge part in what I have become today, and I don't know what I'll be tomorrow. So I don't know whether I can say this, and if I say something like that, I don't know whether I'll get some comments about it, but I'm going to say it. I actually don't believe in a husband role and a wife role and set rules for husbands and wives. And to me, I've married my best friend. So my husband and I, we went to medical school together. So we've known each other for a very long time. And I can't see myself as in my head, like I'm a wife to someone and he's a husband to me and stuff. So because it's a friendship that's grown from for decades now, from a very young age to now. And what we have done from there, we have been involved in arts activities, we have done events together, and that's exactly to us what we're doing now. So we have a vision, and we have dreams, and we have ambitions, and we want to build things together, and we keep continuing to do so, and we love it, and we enjoy that aspect. And it's never and ever will be about what money we can make out of it. It's all about, hey, let's do this, and this is how it's going to be, and then planning and dreaming, and then planning, and then strategizing, and then actually seeing the vision and the dream come to life. And that's the whole thing. So for us, it's a partnership. And yes, during this period, we have now got two beautiful young boys, and now we see them as a part of our journey. It's a team. So they get to see us in our ups, our downs, our wins, our losses, our successes, our failures, because let's face it, life is not ever going to be smooth and in one plane. It's always going to have all this ups and downs and emotion and all of that. And I feel as a family, we are all part of this team, and we share all of that with the children as well. Like, emotion when you're happy, when you're sad. So I think it's more like a team, it's a partnership, and that's how I see our family as.
How do you juggle running multiple businesses with your husband and having two kids?
Oh my God. I like the word juggle, and that's exactly what I do. I am an organized chaos, but I get things done. I'm a finisher. I finish my task, but it's always chaotic because I want to do everything, and I'm not prepared to compromise one aspect or any aspect of what I do. So if it's like being a mother, whether it's their pickup, taking them for activities, or organizing anything for them, I want to be there. I want to be involved. If I'm not physically there, I will make sure my presence is there with them by organizing everything. So whichever continent I am, or I am working from at that moment of time, I'm present with them, making sure every aspect is completed properly. So I'm really I like to control when it comes to my motherhood role. role as a mother to make sure things are done correctly. So a bit obsessive about that, making sure. But the other aspects, then I look at this very carefully and see what I'm good at and what I'm not. So the things that I'm not good at, I like delegate. So paperwork and finance, not my strength. So I have the right people who are much smarter than me to help me in this aspect. And I understand that the branding and marketing and stuff, although I have awareness, I'm not an expert. So we have the right team to guide me and to support the brand. Having a helicopter view of all of this, all aspect of the business, and being that person that, you're guiding. So that's my business and entrepreneurial aspect that I can manage. And the house and my home, wherever I can delegate, I would. So I would rather do something for the business or being as a mother than cleaning the floors and, sorting my laundry, because the time I would rather invest with my family or developing my business than investing in tasks that is not particularly that I enjoy. So my background is from Kerala. So I come from a family where art and academics are equally celebrated. So meaning to say that my mother's part of the family, they're all academicians. And my father's side, they are amazing artists. So I got an exposure in both aspects from an early part of my life. So that's something that I was able to carry forward. And doing medicine in Kerala, as well as actually growing up in that Keralian culture, I did not realize what we did do on a daily basis, like our daily rituals, is all in fact a part of Ayurvedic philosophy and Ayurvedic culture. And that's kind of like a normal daily things that we did. So that upbringing that I've had, the exposure to the arts and academics from both sides of the family, and the exposure I got as a result of that, and my experience as a child actress in the movie industry, and that along with being able to do medicine in Kerala has all contributed to who I am today, with the values of having understand the philosophy that natural remedies, natural medicine, the Ayurvedic medicine, as well as the modern science can coexist. And in fact, that's the best sort of balance when you are able to live in harmony with the nature, but also use the medical science and the evidence-based medicine for a healthier and longer life.
What were the aha moments throughout your career?
As a doctor, I believe there are a lot of these moments where we actually feel we've done the right thing. And there's nothing more rewarding, nothing that gives you the happiness than when you know that you've actually saved someone's life. And such moments, I'm really blessed that I've been able to get throughout my career. And no money or no business achievements or anything has till now brought that same level of happiness and the satisfaction and the reward till now. So maybe one particular story I remember very clearly is that when years ago, when I first started my business in Australia as a single-handed doctor in my little cute practice in Main Beach, Gold Coast. So a young mom brought in her baby who was at the time 2.5 years of age, who looked really drowsy and really off. So as a doctor, there's so much that you learn in medicine, but beyond all of that, there's an instinct. You call it the gut instinct. So when I saw the child, the gut instinct told me something that's really not right. I suspected something, and I suspected some sort of coma that was setting in. So I immediately called the ambulance and sent through to the emergency for investigation. And I still get goosebumps thinking about it, because if I didn't do that, if I didn't make that right decision for that patient at that time, she would not be here to tell her story. And I've heard from a mother after so many years that she's doing so well and she's graduated, she's, gone to university. So to me, those are the blessed and aha moments, if you like, in my career. It adding on to like how I experience as a doctor, the aha moment or the rewarding moment or something that I remember. That's one thing. But the other aspect on a different thing altogether was when COVID hit. And we're all trying to figure out how we are going to fight this, enemy that we can't even see. How are we going to get over this? And the vaccination was just coming, and people were very anxious about getting the vaccination, and they were anxious about going to the centers, whether when they go to the centers, they may get the COVID. So there were a lot of anxieties, and a lot of these disabled kids and the people with the anxiety were not getting vaccinated. So with all of that, my husband and I, we decided to convert one of our properties into a drive-through vaccination center. And that was a decision that we both took spontaneously, instantaneously. And then we could, within less than a week or two, we set up the entire system where the cars drive through. We have a nursing station there and a check-in service, and they get the vaccination and they're out. And there's a monitoring area as well. That's a car park monitoring area where we had people looking after. Now, what helped doing this and how it's an aha moment for us, and even when I look at it now, is because we were thanked by a lot of people, especially parents from children with disability or children with special needs who were already struggling with getting normal vaccination, and this is an add-on vaccination. And by giving this opportunity, they were able to be driven to the center, and while seated inside the comfort of their own car, they were getting vaccinated. So they're being protected, the vaccine was given, and they could all drive home safely. And that time, it was a great achievement. Yes, we made it on the news and we were rewarded for that in terms of we got awards. But that's one aspect. But the satisfaction and that reward that we got by hearing back from this community, hearing back from the parents, that is absolutely priceless. Not one, I've got so many challenges on a daily basis, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have challenges. But challenges are fun, right? Because challenges makes you think. If you have got no challenges and if you're just going on, you're doing the same thing, your brain's not getting challenged to think outside the box and solve the problem, because when you start doing that, the opportunity comes. So that was what happened to me personally during COVID, because I had finished all my research and I was ready to launch the product, but then the COVID hit. Then I had to pause everything because nothing was more important than our lives. And us being doctors, my primary goal and aim and the purpose is to be the doctor to help people. So I threw every other hat out, being a skin doctor and being an entrepreneur and skin developer and all that stuff, skincare developer. So through all of that, I wore the hat and I felt like we were in a war with this enemy that we can't even see. We are like soldiers, so trying to fight that. So that period, how I was able to channel that into as an opportunity is because this is how we did it. Because we were able to, in our spare time, understand and work on our ingredient, then fine-tune it, then get feedback from our close people, our patients and our families, and then add on to the range to what we have now. So it was really great to, sometimes reinvent, sometimes to look everything from a different perspective and start all over again. So COVID gave us that opportunity. What the challenge that we had was, because we've only been in a service industry set up. And being doctors, going through medical school, you do have no idea how to run a business, how money works, no idea at all. So from that to being a service provider, and then entering the retail industry without absolutely any idea of what you're doing, that was very challenging. So it was, made a lot of mistakes, and I wish I'd not done that. That decision was never made, because then we could have saved a lot of money. Thousands and thousands of money just went wasted because of some wrong decisions. But that's past. We've moved on. So one of the things, that we made a mistake is that, so we had to order stock. That's a technology, it's a device, and we had to order stock. So I wasn't aware that I should not be paying more than half of the money involved. So for the production, so I paid almost about 70 to 80% very cleverly, because that's what they asked me to do. And being very naive and not knowing how this industry works, and they led me to believe that that's what I was supposed to be doing. So I paid it all. Then after some time, hear the news that from them that the factory is being closed. So it's like a stock's there, or what we hoped we'll get, but we didn't get more. We only got a part of it, but we paid for most of it. So those were like the big challenges that we've had, that wrong decision. And that wrong decision is because of lack of experience. And the lack of experience, we don't need to know everything of every industry, but if we had taken the right advice from the right people, or been around with people with the right knowledge, we probably would have made better choices and better decisions and saved a lot of money then. So I think that's a big mistake that we have learned from. And I think I regret, but it's a learning experience. Looking back, I should have started when I really felt I was ready, rather than waiting for it to be perfect. And that's something that it's always in my mind, that I wish I've just done it. But I took my time, wanting to make sure that everything is done correctly and everything is in order. But unless you start somewhere, you will not know what challenges that you would face, because as you go, you can fix things and you don't need to be perfect from the day one. There is no right time to start business. There is no such thing as a right time. And I'll explain to you why. I was told by a lot of people that, why don't you wait until your kids are a bit older to start the business? And I'm glad that I didn't wait for that, and I just followed what I felt or what I believed was right. And that's what I would like to give as an advice to everyone, because you need to start, and where you start is the right time. When you start, that is the right time, because you are mentally ready. That's the right time. So not when the kids are at this age, or I've got less things to think about, or nothing of that sort. You start when the time is right for you. To my 18-year-old self, I would like to say, stop trying to fit into a box. You don't need to be living the way you're living just because the world wants you to be in a certain way. The world wants you to portray yourself in a certain way, and you got to please the society and wear certain clothes and not do this and not do that, and not dance on social media, or no. People will tell you what you shouldn't be doing, and what they will tell you what you should be doing. But all of those things are based on their own life experience and their own negative thoughts and negative regressive attitude. It's not actually in your best interest, because you are the creator of your own story. And until the moment you understand that you are the creator of how your future is going to be, how you're going to shape that future. And for that, if you don't level up and be strong in the decisions that you make, you are constantly going to be hit by comments and people trying to control you and tell you what to do and pull you down. So if you level up, then set that as your standard and wait until people, the right kind of people who will come and meet you at your level, because that's where everything will change.